Hi, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us today. Over these next couple of chats, I'd like to learn more about some of your secrets to success and just how you went about finding your passion. What can you tell us about how your innovative thinking led to the success of Apple, as well as your own personal success?
Innovation takes center stage in everything we at Apple. It's not just about making a new product, it's about thinking differently, about overturning the established order and breaking the status quo. When we first started, computers were huge, inaccessible things meant for corporations and businesses. We dared to dream of a world where computers were personal items, available to everyone. That was a radical idea at the time, and the world didn't quite understand. But we pushed ahead with it because we believed in the power of technology to empower individuals. Our success wasn't due to superior technology alone, but instead, our approach to integrate art and technology. We believe that design is not just about how a device looks, but also how it works. It's about creating something which is not just functional, but delightful. But behind every one of our innovations, every product, there are countless failures. You have got to be willing to fail, to crash and burn. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far. We went through a lot of ups and downs, but we did not give up because we genuinely believed in our mission. Every detail matters in our work. We don't settle. In fact, one of the key philosophies at Apple is that we say no to thousands of things so that we can really focus on the few that are truly important and meaningful to us. This relentless focus allows us to create products that truly make a difference. So, behind the success of Apple and my own personal success lies this extreme attention to detail, integration of technology and art, fearless innovation, and an unwavering focus on what truly matters. Design is not just what it looks and feels like. Design is how it works. The most important thing is that you have to love what you do, and you have to have the courage to follow your heart and intuition.
You got into technology very early in your career. How did you know so young that technology was what you loved? Or was what you loved less about technology and more about the idea of what you could create? I mean, could your passion have applied to any path you took? Do you think you could have been just as happy doing something outside of technology if you were creating something meaningful? Basically, do you consider yourself more of an artist or more of a tech geek?
From a young age, I was deeply curious about the world around me. Electronics happened to be something that piqued my interest, but it was never just about the technology for me, but about the potential I saw in it. The technology was just a tool for bringing great ideas to life. Whether it's a beautifully designed product, a software system, or a marketing strategy, the joy of creation, of bringing something new into the world, that's a universal feeling. If I had not been pulled the world of technology, I'm sure I'd have found another canvas to work on, because for me, it was always about creating something that could make a difference. As for your question about being an artist or a tech geek, I say, why not both? At Apple, we always strive to sit at the intersection of technology and the liberal arts. To us, the most exciting innovations occur when disciplines intersect and spark off each other. Art requires technique as much as it requires inspiration, and technology, too, is as much an art as it is a science. You could say, then, that I view myself as an artist who uses the brush of technology to paint my vision. The important thing is not which medium you use to express yourself. What matters is the passion you bring to your work and the impact that work has on those around you. If you do what you love and you do it well, that's success. It's not about what you call yourself, but about what you create and what it stands for.
So, for the young people out there who are struggling, what advice do you have that could help them spark their own passion and more clearly define just what it is that they are passionate about? I just think so many of us really struggle with understanding just what we are passionate about, what we love. We end up settling into a 9-to-5 job and we give up that hope. We lose that spark because we never really understand how to find our true passion.
First off, understand that discovering your passion isn't exactly a revelation. It's an exploration. It's something that unfolds and evolves over time. Start by being curious. In everything you do, don't just do it to get it done, but take a step back and think about why you're doing it, how it's being done, and how it could be done better. Engage deeply with your surroundings, your experiences, and most importantly, with yourself. Finding your passion is not about looking outward, but inward. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. You might not find it right away, but that's okay. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. Be patient, be resilient, and be open to opportunities you never saw coming. But once you find that passion, don't be afraid to follow it. It will be tough, and there will be setbacks. But you will learn, you will grow, and you will create. Remember that life is brief, and you have limited time to make a difference, to make your mark. Don't let the voices of others drown out your own voice, your own inner voice which knows what you truly want to become. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. And finally, always be hungry, always be foolish. Be hungry for knowledge, for experiences, for opportunities. And be foolish enough to believe that you can change the world and go out there and actually do it. That's how we at Apple were able to bring the future a little closer.
Those are all really good points, Steve.
I'm glad you think so. However, there's one more thing I'd like to add. While it's critically important to find and pursue your passion, don't forget that success is a journey, not a destination. And it's a journey that doesn't follow a straight path. It'll veer, it'll twist, it'll even backtrack at times. It's important to embrace these swerves, because sometimes it's the things you stumble upon when you least expect it that end up making the biggest difference. You don't always have to have all the answers, and you won't, not always. But you have to believe that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down. Yearn to grow, to feed your mind, and to keep pushing yourself to explore the edges of your potential. And most importantly, don't stop doing the work you love. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it.
Okay, that makes sense. I think sometimes we overlook or pass by the thing we love because we don't have all the answers, and it's difficult to keep pushing and let the answers unfold over time. Instead, we give up, move on, and never really pursue the thing we could have been truly satisfied by. But instead, we end up wallowing in mediocrity our entire lives, just because everything doesn't just fall into place. I don't think anything is easy, so we end up passing by opportunities in exchange for the safety and ease of the corporate 9-to-5 job.
That's a fair assessment, but life, as I've learned, is never lived in a straight line. It's woven with all sorts of twists and turns we don't expect. It is our job to learn how to navigate through this winding path. Remember that taking the easy way isn't the best option. When you stick with the comfortable, you miss out on the possibility of stumbling into something fantastic. The 9-to-5 routine may provide a sense of security, sure, but it often comes coupled with monotony and the stifling feeling of being trapped. Sometimes what you need to do to find your passion or even just to feel fulfilled is to disrupt yourself, to break your own patterns. That may mean stepping out of your comfort zone, taking a risk, maybe even failing at times. But remember, it's in the moments of disruption and discomfort where growth happens, where you learn about yourself. There's a lot we can't control in this world, and it's futile to think we can line up all the dominoes perfectly before we take the first step. The truth is, the most transformative moments in life often comes located in uncertainty, in not knowing. By leaning into the uncertainties, you might just stumble upon the path you were meant to tread. And don't let fear of failure deter you. It's okay to fail, to make mistakes, because that's how we learn, how we grow. It's through failure that we get to innovation. And remember, the greatest work is often born from the greatest obstacles. So yes, it's difficult. I won't argue with you there. But the difficulty of the journey is what makes the destination worth reaching. So don't settle, stay hungry, stay foolish, and most importantly, keep going. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And very important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
So, What about all the people out there who have let those opportunities go, and they have settled into families, and now are afraid to take those risks for fear of not being able to meet their life's obligations, or losing their house, car, families, etc.? It's really scary to risk it all once you have built a life full of obligations. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine your work placed tremendous strain on your family too, right? How did you wrestle psychologically with your personal obligations against your passion, and the time, effort, energy, and money you needed to commit to your ultimate success?
This is an incredibly relevant question. Life does blanket us with commitments and responsibilities, and indeed, striving for something big often requires sacrifice. I'd like to clarify that work-life balance isn't about neglecting one for the other. Striking a balance is the key. Sometimes, however, the scales tip one way more than the other. I won't deny that my commitment to Apple and my dedication to making a dent in the universe did take its toll on my personal life at times. But rather than view it as a conflict, I saw it as a set of choices I chose to make. One crucial point I'd like to acknowledge is that it's not a one-man journey. Having a supportive circle, your family, your partner, your friends, who understands your passion and the commitment it requires, can make a world of difference and can embolden you to take those leaps. If somebody has let opportunities slip away, I'd suggest this: it's never too late. It doesn't need to be a complete upheaval of your life. Small steps can also lead to a big change. It could be anything: taking a part-time course to learn something new, setting aside an hour a day for a passion project, or challenging yourself with new tasks at work that takes you out of the comfort zone, and so on. Also, bear in mind that we can find fulfillment in many forms. It doesn't always have to be in creating something revolutionary or groundbreaking. If you're someone who derives satisfaction in being a wonderful parent, a loving partner, or a committed friend, that's success too. Remember, your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Be true to you, stay focused, hold on to the courage to follow your heart and intuition. But yes, these decisions we make about balancing our passions and obligations, they're never easy. But they're necessary, and they are what keep us moving forward. No one said that change is easy, but with patience, persistence, and a relentless belief in yourself, you can chart a course towards your dreams.
You made a very interesting point there that I think many of us may neglect to see sometimes. Success and personal fulfillment isn't always about career choices. I think if you are passionate about other things like building a good, strong family or personal relationships, that is just another way of defining success. But we don't always see it that way. Maybe for me, or someone else like me, success doesn't have to be changing the entire world, but changing my world, and changing the world of the people I love. Now, I know that doesn't pay the rent, but I think that maybe inspiration to make the best world for the people you love will come through in your career choices and ultimately drive you toward career success, because what you do and the money you make in your career provides for your ability to change the world immediately around you, your partner, your children, and your friends. Maybe for some people, making a better personal or family life can be the driver needed to be successful professionally, not because their job is their passion, but because their job provides the resources to support their passion.
Absolutely. You've hit upon a profound truth there. There's no one definition of success. It is deeply personal and varies from person to person, and it evolves over time. Success isn't always about towering achievements, groundbreaking innovations, or world-changing endeavors. Sometimes it's about the impact you make in your corner of the world. As for the relationship between personal and professional life, you couldn't have said it better. While we tend to compartmentalize these aspects of existence, the reality is that they're closely intertwined. They fuel and influence each other. If your goal is to foster a caring, loving family environment, that can certainly drive you to find a career that supports this ambition. This doesn't mean the career is any less important. It's a valuable and rewarding part of your life because of the role it plays in pursuing what matters to you. A job is not just a job when it enables you to do what you're passionate about. If you're able to harness this mindset, you'll find an intrinsic motivation in your professional life, regardless of the tasks at hand. Remember, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If making a better personal or family life is your passion, and your job gives you the means to do it, then you're doing great work. We have limited time in this world. Ensuring that what you do, be it in personal life, professional career, or ideally both, resonates with who you are, with your values, aspirations, and motivations, fills that time with purpose and meaning. That's the heart and soul of leading not only a successful, but also a fulfilling life. We're all here to put a dent in the universe. How or where you make that dent is entirely up to you.
Well, this conversation certainly took quite a turn from where I had thought it was going to go. But, I think this was a very important subject, and I love to hear your understanding of what success really is and how to find your own passion. Not the direction I expected, but really important nevertheless.
I'm glad to hear that you found value in our discussion. Life, much like our conversation, often veers from the path we initially envision. But it's in these unexpected turns where the greatest insights can be found. Success and passion are deeply personal and multifaceted topics. They're not limited to the confines of professional life and often intertwine with your personal beliefs and values. By recognizing this, you're already well on your way in carving your unique path in this world. Don't forget that you have the tools within you to achieve the extraordinary. Keep seeking knowledge, embracing uncertainty, and disrupt the status quo. Stay hungry, stay foolish, and above all, stay true to your heart and intuition. That's how the world changes, one person's passion at a time. This has been the essence of my journey at Apple, and it's what I believe can guide anyone toward their own unique path of fulfillment and success. I'm glad you brought up this topic, and I hope our discussion can serve as a catalyst for you and anyone else reading this. You have the power to define your success, to discover your passion, and to change your part of the world. Never underestimate that.